Hey everyone, recently one of our subscribers, Munib Hassan, cracked Java developer interview at Wipro. He has shared everything with me. So basically, he had applied through Naukri.com website and he is having total 3 to 4 years of experience. So there were total 2 rounds. First round was technical from Wipro itself, and second round was also technical but from the ICICI Bank, basically a client from Wipro. So that was the client round. Okay. And guys, if you want to share your interview experience, then please fill the form below in the description and please make sure to subscribe to see such real interview experience. So now let's get started. So guys, in the first round, interviewer first asked to explain about your project and your responsibilities. So you have to answer this as per your experience level. Okay. Then they ask about memory leak and the steps to avoid memory leaks. This is the most asked question. So memory leak means some objects stay in the memory even when they are no longer needed. So memory keeps filling up and the application becomes slower or crashes. To avoid, always close resources, remove unused references, avoid unnecessary static variable, use weak reference and monitor memory with tools. Okay. Guys, then they asked to explain the Java 8 features. 99% interviewers asked these questions. So Java 8 introduced powerful features to write clean and efficient code. We got Lambda expressions to shorten the code streams to handle the data easily, function interfaces, default methods in interfaces, optional to avoid null pointer issues, and modern date time API for better data handling. Okay. Guys, then interviewer asked to explain the pros and cons of using Stream API. So Stream API has many advantages. It makes code cleaner, easier to read, and helps process collections efficiently using operations like filter, map, and reduce. It also supports parallel processing, but it can be slower for small data sets, harder to debug, and overuse makes code complex. Then they asked to explain the life cycle of a thread. This is also very important question, guys. So thread life cycle has several stages. First, a thread starts in the new state. After calling a start, it becomes runnable. Then it may go to the running when the CPU scheduled it. It can move to the blocked, wait, or sleeping temporarily, and finally ends in the terminated state after execution completes. Okay. Then interviewer asked to explain the use of the volatile keyword. So the volatile keyword is used in multi-threading to ensure visibility of shared variables. When a variable is volatile, every thread reads the latest values directly from main memory, but not from the cache. It prevents data inconsistency and guarantees immediate updates, but it doesn't provide atomicity. Okay. Then interviewer asks which OOP concept is used in Lambda expressions. So Lambda expressions are based on the OOP concept of abstraction. They allow us to focus on what to do, not how to do it. By using function interfaces, we can write cleaner and more reachable code, hiding implementation details and reducing boilerplate. Then they ask which tool did you use to monitor applications in your current project. So you have to answer this as per your project, but standard monitoring tools are Splunk, Grafana, etc. Okay. And before moving to the next question, guys, I would like to share one important thing with you. Actually, we had launched interview preparation kit. So let me tell you, this interview preparation kit has 4 main parts. First is complete interview preparation material. It is a step-by-step material made by me, expert and MNC's interviewers. 99% of the questions asked in interviews are covered in it. Second is 2 real enterprise projects. Code and video recorded sessions are here and you can add this in your resume. Third is lifetime chat support. Here you can ask your doubts anytime. Fourth is referral support. Here we help you to get referred to the top MNCs. So basically the material is organized as per your experience level and covers Java, Spring Boot, Spring Security, Spring Data JPA, Kafka, Microservices, Maven, Git, coding questions, Stream API coding questions and many more. You can buy just the complete interview preparation material or the full kit with project supports and referrals. I have added the links in the description below. So now moving to our interview experience. Then they asked to explain how you implemented JOT authentication. So you can say in my project, I implemented JOT authentication by generating a token after a successful login and sending it to the client. For every request, the client sends this token in the header. A filter validates a token, extracts user details and then allow access. If token is invalid or expired, the request is rejected. Okay. Then they ask what do you know about microservices architecture. So microservice architecture means breaking a large application into small independent services. Each service handles one specific feature and can be developed, deployed and scaled separately. They communicate using lightweight APIs like REST. It improves flexibility and fault isolations but requires good monitoring and communication handling. Then interviewer asked about Fiend Client. So Fiend Client is a tool in microservices to call other services easily. Instead of writing long REST template code, we just create an interface and add annotations. Fiend automatically handle HTTP calls, request mapping and serialization, making communication between service much simpler and cleaner. Then guys, they asked two coding questions. First was, you are given a string, you can see that string on your screen. And the question was, you are asked to remove special characters, spaces and numbers and then print the count of each alphabet. Second question was, again you are given a string you can see on your screen, and in this you are asked to change the case of all characters and print the output. So I will add the solutions of these two in the description below. Then guys, moving ahead, he asked to explain what is an index in database along with its pros and cons. So an index is like the index in the book. In a book, instead of searching every page to find the topic, you check the index at the back or front. It tells you the exact page number. Similarly, in a database, instead of scanning every row in the table, the database checks the index to directly find the data faster. So index is like a special data structure that helps DB finds data quickly, as B tree or hash. Then he asked to explain the difference between stored procedure and function. So a stored procedure is like a reusable set of SQL instruction that can perform many actions such as inserting, updating or deleting data. It does not always return a value. You call it mainly to do something. A function on the other hand is mainly used to calculate and return a single value, like a result of a formula or query. Functions must return a value and can be used inside select statements, while procedure cannot be used like that. Then interviewer asked, write a query to print the second highest salary. So I will add this as well in the description. So this is all about Wipro's first technical round, guys. Now moving to the client round that was done by the ICICI Bank, as I already told you. So again, interviewer asked to give an introduction and to explain your projects and your roles in the previous company, that means current company. So you have to answer this as per your experience level. Then they asked about serialization. So it means converting an object into byte stream so that it can be saved to files sent over a network or stored in the database. Later, using deserialization, we can recreate the same object. It is useful for transferring data between different system or applications. Then interviewer asks about transient annotation. This is important annotation. So the transient annotation is used in the JPA to tell that a particular field should not be saved in database table. It is only used inside the application for temporary calculations or logic. So when we store the entity, the field is simply ignored and persisted. Then guys, they ask about transactional annotation. So this is also a very important question. So the transactional annotation is used to manage database transactions automatically. It ensures that all steps inside a method run as a single unit. If anything fails, the transaction rolls back, keeping data safe and consistent. If everything succeeds, the changes are committed to the database. Then they asked to explain the difference between synchronized block and lock. So synchronized block is a simple way to lock a resource so only one thread can access it at a time. It automatically releases the lock when the block ends but has very less flexibility, whereas lock from concurrent.locks provides more control like try lock, fairness and time blocking, but we must release the lock manually. Then interviewer asks about implicit objects in JSP. So implicit objects in JSP are built-in objects provided by the container. So we can use them directly without creating them. They help us access request response sessions and applications data easily. Then they ask, explain the difference between interceptor and filter, when to use which. Filter works at the web layer and is used to filter requests before they reach the servlet, like logging, authentication and modifying request response, right? Whereas interceptor works at the Spring MVC layer and is mainly used for pre and post processing controller methods. Okay, we should use filter for request level task and interceptor for controller level logic. Then interviewer asked, is Spring Initializer is not available, how will you create a Spring Boot project manually? So if Spring Initializer is not available, I will create a Spring Boot project manually by creating a normal Maven project, adding the required Spring Boot starter dependencies inside the pom.xml or Gradle, and then creating the Spring Boot application annotation with the main class. After that, I can run it like a normal Spring Boot application. Then they asked to explain bean scopes and provide the example. So bean scopes decides how many instances of a bean spring should create and where they should be used. Singleton creates one instance for the whole application. Prototype creates a new instance every request. For web apps, request sessions and application scopes manage objects per request, per user session, or per entire application lifecycle. Okay. Then he asked explain the internal working of hash map. So this is very important question. So hash map stores data in the form of key value pairs and uses a hash function to decide where each key value pair should be placed in the memory. When you put a key, Java calculates a hash code for that key and places the value in a specific bucket like a slot in an array. If two keys end up in the same bucket, this is called collision. Hash map stores them in a linked list or a balance tree for better performance. When we search for a key, it again computes a hash and directly goes to the that bucket to find the matching key, making lookup and insert operations very fast, almost O1. So hashmap is efficient because it does not search anywhere. It jumps directly to the right location using hash codes. Then interviewer asks what is pageable and sort in Spring Data JPA. So the pageable and sort are features in Spring Data JPA used to handle large data efficiently. Pageable helps in pagination, meaning we can fetch records page by page instead of loading everything at once. Sort allows us to arrange results in ascending or descending order based on a field, improving performance and readability in APIs. Then they ask what are views in SQL. So views in SQL are virtual tables created from the result of a query. They don't store data physically, they just display the data from one or more real tables. Views help simplify complex queries, improve security by restricting access, and allow users to see only required information. Then he asked two coding questions. First was you are given a string and you have to count the number of palindrome and print them. And second question was you are given an array, you have to print it in a sorted order by using Java 8 and also print the count of each number. So guys, I'll provide the solution of these questions below in the description. So guys, this is all about Muniv's technical interview experience at Wipro, and please don't forget to check the interview preparation kit. Bye bye. Thank you.